what I was going to say as far as Oprah, there was a picture of her on the red carpet, and there was speculation that that wasn't even her. And now I'm hearing from at least three good sources that
Right.
there were multiple batches of adrenochrome that were poisoned,
Uh-huh.
which took a lot of these fuckers out.
Right. Well, that all may be very well, but just again,
But there's always psychopaths to replace them,
there's
like you said.
exactly my point. And not only that, but even if they took out Oprah, there's still somebody who's playing Oprah who's pushing her agenda. Okay?
Yeah.
So all that is a moot point. And
that's true.
Now,
it's true.
One other thing I want to say, just as a quick aside, the more and more I think about it, I think that's not the real Dave Chappelle. I'll tell you why. Because
we don't know who's real anymore, Jim.
No, we don't. But I'm going to say this. All these people are saying, oh, Chappelle's dropping some truth and blah. It's not the real him. And I'll tell you why. The way his cheekbones are set, his face used to be narrow, is much more
he looks much broader than he ever did.
He looks much broader than he ever did. His eyes are set completely different. His cheekbones are totally different. Now,
so what's your theory on the purpose of the replacement?
Okay, here's the other thing. Just to the two other things. Your voice gets lower, but your inflections don't change. This Chappelle, the previous Chappelle, I'll call him the real bio Paul, let's say, okay, biological Paul McCartney, did not have the same inflections even that this new Dave Chappelle has. Okay, here's my suspicion. Somebody mentioned this in a comment thread. There is an actor named Bokeem Woodbine, Bokeem, first name, second name Woodbine. And the minute I saw that, I went to Bokeem Woodbine's IMDb, and I remember seeing a couple movies with him in them. And man, it's him. Because all the inflections that this new Chappelle has, the physiognomy of this new Chappelle, the mannerisms, the body mannerisms are exactly the same. So that's my theory. Now, the other thing that I'm going to say is anybody doubts me, I'm just going to say this. Okay. I was a performer my whole life, right? I've been all around the world on every possible stage. I've observed millions of I've observed countless performers close up in my career, touring and being on stage and being at clubs. And when you're a performer, you can see somebody's mannerisms. You can see somebody's physiognomy. And even as they age, even if there are changes, there are some things that do not change. And when certain characteristics appear after somebody has been off the radar for a while, you start to put two and two together. And that's what I'm going to say.
But do you have any kind of theory or speculation on what's this all about?
As to why?
Yeah.
Because, look, remember why Chappelle left?
He got a lot of pressure, right? He was getting pressure.
Yeah, but more than that, he said he talked about the industry being taken over. All the shit that somebody like Prince said. He wasn't quite as vocal, but he said enough.
You think they took him out? You think they took him out?
I think they took him out because here's the other thing. He also said, he said he couldn't stand the toxicity of the environment. And the thing is, they always get brothers to wear the dress. Chappelle was like, he talked about wearing the dress and not wanting to wear the dress.
Wear the what?
Wear the dress.
The dress.
What that means is they'd say the producer would come to somebody. They're already they'd come to, if they were already working on the film. Oh, Dave, we have this scene where, guess what? You wear a dress. It's going to be hilarious. That it's a humiliation ritual. It's buck breaking, demasculinization of the black man. Okay?
And he wouldn't do it.
And he wouldn't do it. Now look at who's done it. Kevin Hart.
Waylon Jennings. Jennings.
What's my man's name? The guy who he's a big host now on some of the TV game shows. He was like, he put a complaint about being sexually harassed. I can't remember.
Steve Harvey.
No, not Steve Harvey. Somebody was sexually, he said that he was hit on by some male producers. I can't remember his name now. God damn it, I can't remember. But anyway, he wore a dress in some movies. All these other motherfuckers. The Rock wore a dress. All these motherfuckers.
You have to toe the line in that industry.
But
you either don't get to that level if you don't, or if you do get to that level and you don't, they take you out.
Yeah, or they do shit like what they're doing to Cat Williams now. They're you
become ostracized. You become
ostracized. They arrested him. They said he's got all kinds of substance abuse or mental problems or this, that, or the other thing. They build this narrative against you, right? They did that with Cat.
Yeah.
They're always doing it with Kanye,
Yeah.
But that's a question.
He's off his rocker, man. Kanye's been damaged. You know what I'm saying?
He has absolutely been damaged.
He has an internal conflict going on.
He does.
He has his spirit, which is guiding him in the right direction, but it has to go through all these obstacles, like all of these obstacles that have been put in place through the psychological abuse, which he's had to withstand.
And you know who was responsible for that psychological abuse, right? Harley Pasternak.
Exactly, right.
The Canadian spook who was his trainer and is the personal trainer of Lizzo and all these other stars, right?
Oh man.
And
they turn them into basically ritual Satanists is what they do. Well, they break their will through their mind control tactics.
Absolutely. And
I'm telling you, man, we talked about this before, but it was the creepiest thing I've probably ever seen. Is it Billie Eilish? Is that her name?
Yeah.
She doubled over backwards, man. And his mouth open and just completely doubled over backwards like in a demonic possession on stage. And then she flopped back up and continued her performance. This was the scariest fucking thing. This to me looked like classic possession. It looked like the entering of a demonic entity right there.
Can you do me a favor?
These concerts, man, have become black magic rituals.
They're satanic rituals. Who's the new big witch? Taylor Swift. She's Madonna's successor. Madonna
and Sam, what the hell's his name?
Sam Smith.
Sam Smith, man, same thing. Although he's not as big as she is.
No, she's like on a whole. And
see, these people, man, unless you have a really powerful foundation, they don't stand a chance, these people.
No,
They become swallowed up in this monster.
right. They either become swallowed up in it or they say, peace, I'm out. Drop the mic and they're out. You know, so many.
I think Johnny Depp got out of it. He mentioned things where he has no desire to be in Hollywood.
Everybody would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't, because they must fall in line with the person in front of them. You want to live that kind of a life? I wish you the best. I'll be on the other side somewhere, you know.
He's doing the music thing now. I really don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
I mean, he was with Jeff Beck. Jeff Beck didn't give me the impression that he was totally taken over by it.
Right. Right.
I don't know about this Hollywood Vampires, that crew.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're about. I mean, Joe Perry's in that group from Aerosmith.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little bit skeptical of those Aerosmith guys, man. You know?
As you should be. As you should be. Well, it's also, you know, the other thing about that, I'd have to look into that a little bit more, because
I really don't know. It's just that he made comments that he's not interested in Hollywood whatsoever. And I think he just got tired of it and figured, look, let me get out. I got enough money. I don't have to be involved with that. Because right now it seems like he's doing what he wants. He's doing music. Because he started as a musician. He went to Los Angeles for music. Right. And I'll tell you what, man, he's a great pop artist.
Really?
Man, is he good?
I don't know his stuff.
The guy, I'll tell you, you know, he's talented.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out. But I'll tell you the other.
Oh, yeah. He's a really good pop artist. But I was really impressed.
Wow.
Like sort of, what's that guy's, the famous pop artist from the 60s? Andy Warhol.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like Andy Warhol style stuff.
Really interesting.
I mean, he has a real style, and he does portraits, pop art portraits.
I'll have to check it out. But hey,
I'll find some stuff on Instagram. I think he's posted it up on Instagram.
Great, I'd be interested in seeing that. But the other guy,
I've always kind of liked him, but you know, I've heard some bad things about him.
Yeah, I've heard some sketchy shit about him.
I've heard that he was a vampire there for a while.
Well, not only that, I've heard some things that he was in the club, but I'm not gonna, you know, I was never really interested to follow up, because I'm not interested in following up on any of these motherfuckers, because you know that the whole industry is like that. And I knew it was like that when I was in it. So, but here's the other thing. The other guy who I think seems like a really decent person who's really stayed out of the spotlight.
Keanu?
Yeah. I think
he definitely seems like and everybody likes him. He managed somehow to navigate his way around all that stuff.
Right.
He probably drew the line and said, that's it.
Right.
And I guess the guy is just such a hard worker.
Yeah.
I just think he's such a likable guy because he has such a strong work ethic that maybe they left him alone. People just like him because he's such a hard worker. I mean, what he did to prepare for John Wick.
Yeah.
He does major training.
Yeah, I've heard
for the John Wick movies,
which are my favorite. I love those fucking movies, man. But I'll tell you something. The other thing about him, what I've heard from other people in the biz who I know, they said that they've seen him at certain events, you know, certain informal events, and they've said he's a really great person, but he's painfully shy off camera, and when he's not doing press. He's super, super shy.
Yeah, I could see that.